A royal father from the eastern part of Nigeria for looking at our president in the eye and demand for Nnamdi release from Sokoto prison. Thank you so much. Last week, all of you are bashing me, so you generalize. I am here to say sorry for generalizing that all Igbos are cash and carry. Some, not all. I take it back with all due respect. And I'm thanking our royal father for looking at the president in the eye and say, thank God, say I no be Igbo by tribe. That tribe, they are so easy to buy. You just hold money and power. They will follow you like puppy dog.
Those are the most greedy Nigerians you can ever meet.
Something unusual happened in Nigerian politics. A man who publicly criticized the Igbo people has now publicly apologized. But this apology did not come out of nowhere. Because just before it happened, one traditional ruler stood face to face with the president and said what many powerful people have avoided saying publicly.
I don't feel very happy. This same Imperial Majesty is arranging to confer a very high honor on Sunday Igboho, who in my own part of Nigeria in the southeast, we see him as a counterpart of Nnamdi Kanu, the Imperial Majesty. He does not seem to understand the pain in my heart when Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto. So, sir, the ball stops on your court. Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from.
So what really changed? Few days ago, Isaac Fayose made a controversial remark describing Igbo people as cash and carry. That statement quickly sparked outrage online. Many felt it was unfair. Many demanded retraction. But at that moment, there was no apology. Then something happened. During a public engagement, Eze Agubuzu stood before Bola Ahmed Tinubu and made a direct appeal regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was bold. It was public. It was not whispered behind closed doors. In a political environment where many choose careful language, that moment stood out. People began asking questions. Why did it take a monarch to speak this directly? Many observers began comparing that bold moment to the silence or cautious tone of other influential Igbo figures such as Arthur Eze, Orji Uzor Kalu, Umahi, Obi Cubana, Cubana Chief Priest. Some prefer diplomacy, some prefer strategic engagement, but Agubuzu chose public confrontation. And then came the U-turn.
A royal father from the eastern part of Nigeria for looking at our president in the eye and demand for Nnamdi release from Sokoto prison. Thank you so much. Last week, all of you are bashing me, so you generalize. I am here to say sorry for generalizing that all Igbos are cash and carry. Some, not all. I take it back with all due respect. And I'm thanking our royal father for looking at the president in the eye and say, if Igbo can be free, then Sunday too should be, Nnamdi too should be free. Now the game is balanced. They use what they have, the Yorubas, the Kabesis, they use what they have to talk to the president, and they cleared Igbo. Now the royal fathers from the east too are now coming together and saying, release our own brother too. So the conference and the working relationship can be sweet together. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, our royal father. Igwe, God bless you, sir. God bless you so much. And all the Igbos that are offended last week by my videos about the Igbos, cash and carry is not all. Few are cash and carry. And now our royal fathers are now correcting it.
Shortly after the bold address, Isaac Fayose publicly apologized. He said, I want to publicly apologize to the Igbo people. I sincerely regret the remark and completely withdraw it. This was not partial clarification. It was a full withdrawal. Was the apology coincidence? Was it reflection? Or did the atmosphere shift after the powerful moment before the president? In politics, timing matters, weight matters, and public pressure matters. One man criticized, one monarch spoke boldly, and then came an apology. The question is simple. What do you think really happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Thank God, say I no be Igbo by tribe. That tribe, they are so easy to buy. You just hold money and power, they will follow you like puppy dog. You know, forgetting Nnamdi Kanu for Sokoto prison. But our Yoruba, our own Igbo shall don't come. They don't clear him. And all his sins are forgiven. Now he's going to take royal title from Ile-Ife. But your own Nnamdi, Ide Sokoto, and all of you come they wear a mandate cap. What a tribe. Thank God say I no be Igbo. Ope make I stay my Yoruba jeje.
Igbos are the most greedy Nigerians you can ever meet. We have activists in Nigeria. We have a guy called Sunday Igbo. Yes. Igbo Osha. Yes, sir. He's back home now. They even want to give him 2,000 title. Yes. We have bandits, Fulani herdsmen, chancing us from the north. There is still one man called Sheikh Gumi. He still say, no, they need money, leave them. Leave them. It's because no education. We have another guy called Kanu Nnamdi. Where is he? He's in Sokoto. And your brothers, Obi Cubana, are wearing a mandate that they cannot use a political power to negotiate and bring their brother out. I didn't say you should fight, but you are corridor of power. You give me this, I wear your cap, you release my brothers.